Good afternoon and welcome to another live stream. Today we're going to go through all the 50 plus markets on Poloniex, and we're going to review our bull market case study that we were doing through September to November. Before that, we'll do a 3-minute quick history of the origins of this report that we're doing here today. And at the end of this video, at the end of this live stream, I have a special announcement that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So to start off with, let's go through our 3-minute history of the report. We started off in early September watching for a bottom formation in all the cryptocurrencies. We made lots of predictions and we organized everything to do with the currencies. And then on September the 12th, everything, and the 11th, everything started to fail. We went down to new lows. And we kept watching from day to day. And the spreadsheet evolved to track ones that said they looked like great potential. And we started to track which ones actually triggered our own trading plan, the simple trading plan that we're teaching and talking about in this training series. And so everything that was green was something that was a buy in our trading plan. Everything that was yellow was an alert saying that a buy signal was imminent and coming up on it. So we could see many of them going from yellow to green as we're going through the beginning of October. And then we started to track everything to put it into a spreadsheet to start to say, you know, when all of these good-looking markets that are alerts or actual buys outnumber the ones that are almost failing or failing, then we would know that we were definitively in the bull market. And so we were tracking everything every single day and going through. And in the end of October, things were looking fantastic. But as we know, as we moved along, you can see the color change in the chart here, going from lighter colors to the darker, more ominous colors here of orange, which is a near fail, and red, which is a complete fail. And failing means going down below the lows that we saw through August and September and October. Now here in November on Bitcoin Hell Day, we could see that the color of the whole thing is different here. The whole study has a different tone to it because of all the reds and oranges here that were not present earlier in October. And sure enough, Bitcoin Hell Day, which I've called it there on November the 14th, and version 2.0 on November 18th as Bitcoin was going down, it pretty much reset our whole study because we were looking for things to make a bottom formation on the 12-hour bars, and everything had broken down to new lows, which starts you hunting again for a whole new series of bottom formations. So this is where we were on November the 21st, 22nd, 3rd, 24th. And we were going through looking for small little bottom formations. And at this time, we would get a trading signal that would tag us in, a little wee bit of a pump, and then prices would retrace, and we would get a small loss and a small loss and a small loss. Lots of fake out breakouts and small losses piled up during this period at the end of November and beginning of December. And at the beginning of December, there were people asking for more of this information. They were saying, I like it, can you just send it to me instead of me having to watch this entire hour training video? And so what I started to do was I created a whole new level 2 spreadsheet that imports all of the live data from the markets. And it starts to go through which ones are a hold, which ones are an alert, which ones are just watching, which ones are neutral. And I started filtering them down so that we could get right to just the ones that were an alert and skip everything else. Get right to the ones that were actually a hold and skip everything else. And then we could go through their open and profit losses to see which ones are most profitable. And finally, I set this up into a way that you could log into the website. We'll see what people are saying about that in a second. But you could log into the website and you would see all of the alerts all organized here for you. All of the open trades all organized so that we could sort them by their profit, their open profit right now to see where things were and how we got here. All of these data on the website include screenshots so that we can go back and see where the actual trade signal was that led us to having this 14% profit. Really great studies. And we also have more data about the closed trades so that we can go back and see where was the trading signal and where did it end up? What was our final profit and loss? What can we learn from this trading signal? Really great resource. But over time, I stopped doing the live streams going through all of the markets on Poloniex, mostly because there was no 1, 2, 3 bottom formations on the 12-hour bars. Insert one to the right. insert one to the right. Now we're going to jump in here January the 6th, and we're going to continue the hunt. We're going to go through everything all the way along here from ARDR all the way through all the rest of the markets. And I haven't been watching the chat up there, but I see we've got a few people watching. Be sure to say hello in the chat. Where in the world are you from? Let me know where on this Sunday morning from North America. Where are you guys from? Always good to connect up and get to know where people are actually from. And so now the next section of the video is to go through what we've been doing from September all the way through till now and review it all to see, is it now time to actually start taking action on these markets? So what we were always doing is the simple trading plan, and that has 3 criteria. First of all, a break of the downtrend line. So here we have a break of the downtrend line. It's looking for a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So here we have a 1. This is our 2. And here is our 3 point. The next criteria is a break above the number 2 point at the same time that we have our 60-20 moving averages crossed over. So we have all 3 of those criteria here just coming into play right now with ARDR. We also have some variations in our trading plan that we talk about in the alerts program that give us a little bit of an earlier entry on some of these trades, but certainly the safer way to do it is to wait until the turnaround has actually happened. And if we're looking at the background in all of these charts, we can always see Bitcoin prices in the background to gauge against what Bitcoin is doing. So here we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and this one would be giving us a green signal. So that's a buy signal right there as we're standing right now. And one thing I was adding into these charts before I upgraded to the next level of charts is I was starting to add in these price levels. So we say 1631 makes for a longer live stream, but then we get to go through all the details. Before we go on further, let me slip this in. All of this is not investment advice. It's hypothetical, and it's training and education. So even though I really try to accurately represent the strategies that I actually use, and I think they will grow your portfolio, there is no guarantee of any results. Nobody can determine the future. And if you have a question from New York City, Crypto Chick, good to have you along. If you have any questions or you want a specific market reviewed, let me know and I'll stop my progression and I'll just skip over to your chart and take a look at it. But other than that, I have a specific progression that we can see down along the side here. And I'll ask a favor if anybody's up for it. There is this whole list of coins all the way along in the description down below. If you could copy and paste that and put it into a comment down below the video and continue to put in the timestamps for when I switch over to each of these different coins, that would be hugely helpful for everybody else following along on this video afterwards. And it's something that I just can't do at the same time as I'm going through this. It's too hard for me to look at the timestamps and update that stuff as well. All right, now we're going to dig through and we're going to just keep digging through and digging through. So basic attention token, this one was setting up to be a swing trade many different times. It was looking like a great swing trade entry as it came down to these levels. Over and over and over again, they would hit these levels and bounce up. It looked like a good swing trade entry, but then it faded off more, and it's given us a whole new 1, 2, 3 bottom formation potentially here. So it's let's draw the lines on the chart as they stand. So we do have lower lows, we do have lower highs. It is coming to an apex. And it is at important technical support and resistance levels that it made this bottom formation here. So there's no definitive signal in this right now. If it starts breaking higher, we could give it a signal. But other than that, it's not even an alert. It could be failing down lower. So I need to close and move anything extra here so I'm not continually opening the wrong tab. Here's a few words from the people who have subscribed to the alert package so that they are getting all this information without having to wait through the whole hour of training. OzDog says that he can personally say that joining the alerts group has been the best crypto investment he made this year. Just in a couple of days, it's helped fundamentally shift his thinking about how he trades. The biggest change is losing his fear of using stop losses. And he realized how much he was over trading. Oh, liquidated shorts coming by on the side here. Love to see it. Look at that. And we can see down on the side here, $39.95 for Bitcoin prices coming up. Another liquidated short. Am I going to do Binance instead of... Let me get this live stream up here so I see it. Am I going to do Binance instead of Poloniex since it has more volume and more altcoins? I do Binance actually every day. I go through and I've closed that. Sorry about that. I should have dragged this out of the way. I should have known I'd be needing to open this again. We'll let that load up, I guess. All right, here it comes. It does have to load in a whole bunch of data. Now I'll move it. So I do, now to answer that question, I do the Poloniex watch, and I do it generally just for this one online because, wow, look at Bitcoin go. Sorry. So here we have Bitcoin taking off. Ethereum hasn't moved hard yet, and we see STR is also giving a little bit of green. We were seeing that Litecoin was taking off earlier, and we were predicting that Bitcoin was going to follow because this is exactly what happened in December the 16th and 17th, where Litecoin took off on the 15th, 16th, and then Bitcoin took off on the 17th and 18th. And there was this delay, so I was watching for this, and really great to see it happening as we're live. I see. There we go. Great to see it. And now it's a really good time to go through all of the altcoins to see what they are doing at the same time, because this is where I think many of these are going to go up higher than Bitcoin. So they go up high, they go up versus Bitcoin, which means they're double going up. Like they're going up the price of Bitcoin if they stayed the same. But since they're going up versus Bitcoin, they're actually gaining in market share faster than Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin, the BCHABC isn't giving me the real turnaround I thought it would at the same time as Bitcoin's taken off. And Bitcoin's jumped up $170 per Bitcoin in just the last couple minutes. And BCHSV is also taking a dip down as Bitcoin is spiking up. And I thought this would be following much more closely. What else do we have going on here? BCN is only traded on Poloniex, and it's a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, so a break above 21 would be a buy signal. Let me make sure I'm watching the stream. Hey there, from Indonesia. How about the Ethereum hard fork? More forks. I don't know about the Ethereum hard fork. Don't we have Ethereum Classic already? And don't we have, what's that, Expanse is also a fork of Ethereum? I don't know about the Ethereum hard fork, but thank you for telling me. BNT is our next one along our list. So BNT has given us the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and we had an alert, and it was turned into a buy signal for us. So now it's above our buy entry, and we're just sort of hovering and waiting to see when to put the stop loss up above our entry. I think that in the long term, this is going to be a really great one to put $5 into right now and just wait a couple of years. This is going to be something that really works, I think. Now let's go on to some of the next ones on the chart, because I got to put in our I must have skipped a few. Bancor network isn't in here. BNT, here it is. And this was a green already. BCN, not yet. I would have to say it's an alert though. Bitcoin, that's an alert for sure. And let's continue on through our charts. So again, if you've got something you want me to cover specifically, I'll pull up that chart. Other than that, I'm going to keep going through chart after chart and follow along with everything that we did, because we have some great patterns shaping up here now. And I want to document them for my own future self to go back on. Look at those more shorts coming through, more liquidated shorts. So here we have a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And one thing I'm going to bring up here now is some indicators down underneath. And this is something we may not have been doing that much when we were just going through the bull market watch over and over again. Here we have an RSI that is diverging from the price, and we have the on-balance volume that is getting stronger or less weak all the way along here. At the same time, the prices are on there sort of on a downtrend here. Now we're seeing a very small 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up at the end of all of this, what I think is pressure in the market. And so I do have anticipation that this one is going to go higher, but it's not yet a buy signal. So I'm just going to mark it as an alert, and we'll continue on through. Burst is down to new lows. So this is a fail, and it has to be marked in the spreadsheet as a fail, even though it's new lows compared to August and September and down to here. We made a trade signal on this one. We bought and we sold out on the other side of this top. Really just great timing to have got some profit out of this after it's come down. So I'm actually surprised to see that, but I have to mark it as a fail. CLAM, where are we? CLAM is looking like a buy. It's looking like it's pushing up to go higher out of this. So I'm going to mark this as an alert just because it's making this ascending wedge triangle. If I zoom out to a longer term perspective, this is still a very small triangle compared to where this market has been in just the recent past. And so this kind of pattern buildup is a good buy signal. I'm happy to put this as a buy signal or an alert that if it breaks above those levels, it would be something to consider. Civic Coin, when I was making these big popcorn moves here, I thought, oh, it's going to really take off here in October, and I was so excited, and it sort of faded back, and we have new lower lows here. So it hasn't given us a good 1, 2, 3 bottom formation to shape up here yet, but it's still going to require some more time for that to mature for what we're looking for in our trading pattern. So here we have in Dash, we have lower lows, we have lower highs, a potential 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here, but it really would have to turn around and break above these levels. And for my own part, because I'm a little bit skeptical, I would want to see this one break out of these levels, come up, fight a bit, break above this level, retest it, and then on the strength from there is where I would be considering adding onto the position. I want it to break through there, show me that it's not a fake out breakout, and that it's showing strength after that, retest. And PAN, we just got an alert for APPC. Let's go take a look at it because it's not part of the normal routine here, but I know what you mean. APPC. So you can see the consolidation pattern that we were identifying, another consolidation triangle pattern we were identifying, and then we put on a trade alert on this one because of this, what we call a springboard trade entry. Let me clear off all of these things. I'm going to zoom in. There's the 12-hour view. Really great. Nice flat bottom all the way along here from November all the way till now. Made this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And we can also see the RSI divergence here getting stronger while the market is going flat. And we can also see some nice on-balance volume buying going on while the market is laying flat. People are buying it. It's not a bunch of selling going into this. So there was a really great alert, and I think it's still very early in this move. It's going to be going, most of these markets are going to go so much higher from here. I'm anticipating that this is going to be larger than the large move from March of 2017 until July 2017. As we're going through all these bottom formations that have taken all of 2018 to build up, the potential from here going forward is going to be quite a bit of a different game than what we saw earlier in cryptocurrencies when it was all just a bunch of small players, all a bunch of believers who were making the markets move. Now it's going to be a whole different game, and I think that we're going to see a very significant trend. It's an important time to be paying attention to these charts for sure. All right, now, where did I leave off on the spreadsheet? And if you guys have, hi Satoshi, good to have you here. You're our honored guest for sure. So we just looked at Dash, and Dash wasn't anything that I could do. Civic wasn't anything that I could do. So now let's take a look at Decreed. 14 people watching now, and the fee that I charge for this video is a thumbs up. If you're liking it and you think this is helpful information for your trading, give it a thumbs up. Give me a comment in the side saying hello. Let me know where you're from, and help me get this word out to more people. There's enough abundance here. There's enough money to be made that everybody that we know could learn about this stuff and benefit from it. So share this everywhere you can. I'd be most grateful. And at the end of this video, I can tell you how I can express my gratitude with cryptocurrencies. Decreed. This is the day that it was listed on Binance. A big day. But then prices faded off as Bitcoin waned and dropped. Then this faded off as well. Then we have this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and a big popcorn move. A whole bunch more short liquidations going through. 1.3 million, 760,000, 200,000. Really awesome. Hard not to go and take a look at what Bitcoin prices are doing. Amazing to see, and that Ethereum is dropping back. So Bitcoin, I think Ethereum is going up in US dollar value, but not as fast as Bitcoin is going up in US dollar value. So it goes down here. Interesting to see. There'll be a snapback effect where all of these start to go up and follow along. Woo. Great to be live at the time. So Decreed is a great big 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up here now. Really great. We can also see the RSI divergence, although I got to say that there is a pretty big on balance volume selling going on right here. Maybe these are the capitulation lows, but a break above these levels is bullish for this market for sure. And if we go back to a longer term view and see where this has been in the past, there's still a lot of room for this to make some moves from where it was. Digibyte, I'm happy to see, has finally settled into what could be a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation shaping up here. Way at historical lows, it's looking good. As we zoom into it, we can see that the RSI is a little bit positive. The on-balance volume is getting less negative, which is positive. And since it's making this chart formation, it would be something to pay attention to. And maybe have an idea to be penciling in some action around these areas with a little bit of the starting bit of a trade. And if it proves you correct, you can add on more. So it's still, I wouldn't mark it as an alert in the spreadsheet yet. It's still not close enough to be marked up as an alert that I would be wanting to keep my eye on closely. Close though. Dogecoin was looking great, but it's faded back, so it's going to take a little bit more maturing to do anything. And I think that with Bitcoin showing strength right now, as we see off to the side here now at 41.99, there's an abnormal volatility alert, no doubt. Really taking off. So Dogecoin is not an alert right now. EOS, this one is an alert right now. We can see this ascending wedge triangle. Really nice. We traded this out of the very small 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. This is one of the trades that went forward out of this bottom formation, never came back to retest it. Now it's going to be breaking higher from here, I would imagine, and it would be an add-on trade signal for us. But I'm going to put it in the spreadsheet as an alert. Whoops. Reset that. Put EOS as an alert. Move on to Ethereum Classic. Ethereum Classic was another one that we saw the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in. Even though I was going like, this has been such a dead market and dying for all the months we've been watching everything, is always the one failing and failing and failing and failing. Doesn't matter how many times. Now that it makes that formation, it's time to take action. So we put this out as an alert, and it turned into a positive trade, and we're holding that as a hold trade. So anytime you see these bottom formations, it's time to take this action, especially on the 12-hour bars where we see the moving average crossover, we see the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, the downtrend line was broken, all of the requirements are there. And so sometimes I have to override my own negative thinking and just look at the specifics of the market. We have the downtrend line break, we have the 1, 2, 3 bottom, we have the moving average crossover. I put on the trade, and then I'm just watch it, put the stop loss up above the trade as soon as I can here, and then sit back. There's not much else to do. So if we go on to Ethereum, I guess I should put in the spreadsheet that this is a buy. Not a buy today, but it was a buy the other day. Ethereum also we took as a nice buy signal. And this one we were watching right here as it made this bowl shape and pulled back a little bit, though that was our trigger right there, and off it went. So we've got a great profitable trade here in Ethereum. And now with the stop loss where it is, instead of setting up buy orders, we've got for where we're going to get in more, what we have had set up here now is reverse popcorn orders. That is, we're anticipating there could be sharp spikes to the downside and then followed by a quick recovery. Sharp spikes all the way down to get everybody's stop losses, followed by a very quick recovery. And this, I believe it's market manipulation, and I think that it happens in an uptrending market in cryptocurrencies. Prices will spike way down and then continue on the uptrend. And so this is what we're anticipating here. Wrong market. Happy New Year, Dan. Good to have you along. I appreciate you guys tuning in. For sure, it's great to go through this stuff, and it's also good to have you as an audience because it keeps me sharper. For sure, it's improved a lot of stuff that I'm doing. Now we're looking at Factum, and it's not enough of a consolidation here to call it a trend continuation setup. We did get into a little trade here where we bought in, and then it kicked us out right here. So we just got a little bit of a profit out of that. And then we were watching for another place to get in here, but it failed. And now we have to watch for another 1, 2, 3 bottom formation to set itself up before we can consider this to be a trend continuation. But I guess I shouldn't be blind to the fact that we could go short in this market for people who are not in the United States. And I'll be watching for it to go down below these levels and see if it would be a short trade Not my favorite kind. This is my better short trade, breaking the uptrend line. This is the better place to take a short trade for sure. So we'll just leave this neutral for now. Bitcoin pump, yes, it's just taken off. I love it. Let's zoom into the where's my minutes and seconds on this? There we go. 5-minute bar. Look at that. Just since we've been live, it's just electrified. And then Ethereum, not so much. Litecoin also took a bit of a shock, and so did STR or Lumens. So as Bitcoin's taking off, these are getting squished hard. I think they will rebound. We saw this before, and I think that they'll rebound and they'll be catching right back up to what Bitcoin's doing. There'll be an elastic band effect. Let's see. That'll be key to see. I'm going to skip ahead here to Litecoin and take a look at what we had marked up here on the coin. Come on. More liquidated shorts coming in. So clean the stuff up. More liquidated shorts coming in. $800,000 liquidated short. I don't wish that on anyone. So what we have here is the Litecoin prices back in December where they took off before Bitcoin did. And then we have here just the other day Litecoin taking off before Bitcoin has taken off. And now here it comes again where Bitcoin is going. And this could be really significant. This could be a really big tear. And it could be taking us up to the 53 to 5,500 that I've been looking for. And that's where we'll be watching for that big top formation before a massive slam to the downside. I was buying Ethereum because of the hard fork on the 16th of January. Oh, I see. And so that's why Ethereum has been taking off so much faster than everything else. Everybody else knew about that. Now it's taking a step back. But it's been really stepping up here as people have been accumulating Ethereum, I guess, preparing for that hard fork so that they have free money, free coin that doubles when the hard fork occurs. Good to know. Glad I do the live streams. I learned a lot of stuff on these. So now let's go on to game. Game was a buy signal here. We see our 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We see the break of the downtrend. I'm going to zoom out to the 12-hour bar. So here, the downtrend is a little bit different. It's taken a more casual, easier down, but there's still the 1, 2, 3 bottom, break of the downtrend, break out of the 1, 2, 3 bottom at the same time, all of these together. And now we have this a little bit of a profit in this trade. And it's setting up for a larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. So should it continue to break higher from here, this could be an add-on signal. It could be a whole new place to be stepping into this trade as it's breaking above these levels. For certain, you may want to be a little bit more skeptical. And if prices do break above, wait for it to retest and to start to go higher instead of retesting and going down lower. We don't want to get into a fake out breakout and then have it retrace. Instead, we want to have it retest these levels, and if it's showing strength, this is the place to jump on. Hello, Gandhi. Good to have you along. Send Crypto. Ah, that's right, too. I went and subscribed to your new channel there, Gandhi. Send Crypto. Now, be sure to watch the end of the video, Send Crypto. I can give you a way to be able to earn some cryptocurrencies from your channel. Gas, we were watching for this bottom formation here, and this was a wicked fake out breakout, and down it came. Could have tagged in a lot of people way up these levels, and then the prices pulled back. We saw this over and over again at the beginning of this downtrend as the bottom formation was just settling in, As we went through the beginning of December, we saw all sorts of more of these. Looks like a bottom formation, then we have fake out, breakout, and prices pulled way back. Really caught a whole bunch of traders to be buying in on these pumps, and then they get freaked out and they sell out, and prices are taking off. It's part of the bottom formation. And it's part of the reason to trade with smaller positions with larger spaces in your stop losses, especially at this time in the market. So gas is shaping up now. We've got a larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Should it be breaking above these levels? It's definitely looking like a buy signal. And if we go back to its old history, we can see it made some enormous moves when the market's in the right time frame. So I think that we're going to be seeing these enormous moves and then some. It's going to make these old enormous moves look flatline. I think we're in a really amazing point in time in history, and it's a really key time to be learning all of these patterns from start to finish instead of just this little snapshot that we do here on the live stream. Just no free coins on Ethereum, just a protocol upgrade. Oh, okay. Good. Thank you, Ladyboy City. Mining reduction by 1/3. Okay, so they're moving towards proof of stake, and they're doing it in stages. Pretty cool. All right, here's another one. GNT, Golem Network Token. This one tagged us in our trading alerts here. And then we got out using rule number 1 here. We got out by our stop loss. So there was a little bit of a loss. Then we got out on this little wee bottom formation. We can see this in the late part of November. And then the beginning of December, it pumped. It was looking great, which tagged our trade in. And then it faded back and hit our stop loss. Now again, we're making another bottom, and we're getting these pre-pump candles. And the market's looking a little bit better, actually. And so in our alerts system, we have another alert put in that if prices break up into these levels, this would be another attempt at finding this bottom formation. And then we'll see that over time, this loss will be recouped as we go up in price past these levels. And as we go up in price past these levels, then those losses will be recouped. And so we'll pretty much have to go all the way up to here before this market actually becomes profitable to us now after those couple losses. So anything above these levels is gold. Anything before those levels is just getting back what we put into this, trying to be ready for when the market actually did the turnaround. And this is part of this trading system, is to keep these ones small, keep these trades small until it does prove us correct. Then we add on to be larger. And Ed asks, do you think if Bitcoin goes up to 5K before a slam down, do you have a bottom target? Do you think we'll go down to below 1800? I do have kind of a bottom target. And I'm going to go to a different chart so I don't have to clear this one. I will look at that one later. So here is Bitcoin, BTC, USDT over on Poloniex. And my prediction is that we're going to be coming up to these levels, make a top formation, and then we'll have a significant crush downwards. And let me stretch this and get rid of the background. Go out to the 1-year view. And where do I think it's going to go? I am only looking at chart patterns. So I am anticipating it diving deep into this chart pattern here from the past. And then I'll be looking for the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation there. And of course, this is complete speculation. It's completely based on thinking of chart patterns, and that the institutions have their eyes on the whole market. They have a bigger pocket than we do. They have much greater means. And I don't think this squeeze here is total it yet. I think that they are manipulating both sides of the fence, and they are squeezing out every bit of Bitcoin that they can in real ownership terms that you can take out. You have the private and the public key for proof of keys, and they are milking all of the margin traded markets and all of the other markets and taking the actual physical as you can get, the actual Bitcoin, where they have proof of keys, and then the markets are going to start to turn around, because the big guys will have the market share of ownership, and then the whole game is going to change from here. But I think there's going to be this one more squeeze to get all of those Bitcoin out of everybody that they can shake it out of before there's going to be a rise. And I hope I'm completely wrong. But I am going to be looking at getting out of alts entirely and into a stable coin way up at these levels, as well as speculating on some short positions. Well, it really could do the $1,000. If we're down to the $2,200, there's nothing at all to stop somebody to get a fat finger and just dropping it down into a big capitulation low. And if I scroll back and just take a look at some of these capitulation lows after it starts sliding, how they spike down and then back up, spike down and then back up. These spikes are massive. This is huge. And we could easily have one of those spikes at the end of this. So just the panic gets so deep that people are willing to sell out at any price. They just dump it, and then you get that huge spike down, and then things take off from there. So it really could do the $1,000. This is where I'm watching now for this surge, and then I'll be watching to step back. And I love the questions. I really do. It's fantastic. Gas, I'm going to put that as an alert. I learned as much from, and GNT was also an alert. I learned as much from these things as I hope I'm providing and teaching. Poloniex, Golem Network Token. Next we went on, well, we didn't go on yet, but Hunter Coin. Got whipsawed in this one, lost 12.4%. And it was a nice looking bottom formation, a nice breakout, and quite a candle down and a big candle up. And so I've stepped out of this market and just be watching it for now. It's got to give a bigger turn now before I can jump into this one. It's done too many whipsaws. The Kyber Network token, however, this has got some big candles to the upside, and it's some recent big candles to the upside. We're looking at the 1-day bars. When we zoom to the 12-hour bars, zoom into the 4-hour bars, we can see that right now it's just taking off out of this formation. Right this moment, I would say that this is a buy signal. Right at the market. And let's see. We're looking at Polo Watch. We've got the Kyber Network token. Okay, so it was already a hold that we picked up at 4,051. So here I'll add it as color-coded a buy signal. Library credits is next. And I'm anticipating something from this. It's giving us a nice bottom. It's really building up. It's been a long time coming, but nothing yet. I can't give it an alert. I can't give it anything. It's in that neutral phase between breaking to new lows and breaking higher. It's just sort of in the middle. So leave that as neutral. LOOM is looking pretty neutral right now too. Looking at the 4-hour bars. So even at this and looking at the 12-hour bars, it's easy to see that if it turns around and it's starting to give some pressure out to the top here, that would be an alert out of this range that it's been doing since the end of November all the way through now to the beginning of January. That's 6 weeks. And those are the kind of formations I like to see. So nothing, it's not an alert yet though for LOOM. LISC. LISC is giving us a 1, 2, and down to the 3 point here. It actually gave us a 1, 2, 3 bottom, and we had a buy signal for it here. Prices came down but didn't quite hit our stop loss. We left it down below the areas. So we're still into this, holding this trade, and I think it's a good one. but it may not be immediate to take off. It's got huge upside potential according to its past. Really a nice looking chart, but I can't put it as an alert right now until it starts to be pushing against these levels for the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Even here, let's zoom to the 12-hour bar. We do have the moving average crosses over, but it's got to recross again, and then this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout. So nothing there for us immediately. Litecoin, of course, had given us a signal earlier, and this great consolidation pattern was fantastic as well, and off it's gone from there. I'm going to put Bitcoin back in the background. MAID safe coin. We got 20 people watching now and 5 thumbs up. So come on and press firmly on that like button. If you're enjoying this, if you find this helpful, if it makes you any money, that would be even better. Litecoin has retraced quite a bit, but it's not giving us a buy signal yet. It's got to do some turning around from this. It's got to bounce off these levels and consolidate more. But then I think I've been saying this for years. I think it's got great upside potential when that market releases. Mana coin was a great call as it pumped up to these levels, and right after that contest was finished, down it came. So I don't have a prediction for this. It's not looking strong. It's not looking like a buy signal as Bitcoin is going up. So we'll go on to NAV coin now. And NAV coin has been good to us in the past. It made a really nice bottom formation here earlier in September. We got a buy signal out of it. It went all sideways here, and then we got kicked out, probably at a small profit, maybe at a small loss. And it made new lows, and now we had a couple times we were tagged into this on these fake out breakouts, and it's come back. Now what we have is a really much bigger triangle formation shaping up here for us. Really great, actually. And I would say that this would be a trade entry that would be something like this, where I'm wanting to get into it right off of the change of momentum out of these triangles. And then, of course, I want to be careful because we can see what happened out of this triangle here before. It didn't work. And so I'm going to put on the trade right at the beginning like this as it starts to show strength. And I'm going to assume that I'm wrong and that it's going to be something like this, a fake out breakout. And if it doesn't continue to prove me correct, I'll just close the position. But I like this trade. I like this one. I'm going to put it as an alert. And that is down to NAV, so it's already marked as an alert from a previous study. Let's go into Namecoin. Namecoin has a couple great examples in it. Look at this 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Great consolidation pattern here in November. Even though I wasn't keen on the coin, the technology, the project, I thought, you know what, I really wasn't expecting much out of it. We did the buy signal here, and it turned out really well. We were up some 69% or 70% at this time. I moved my stop loss up, and then we got what's called a reverse popcorn move, where it's such a lightly traded market, it doesn't take much selling to hit everybody's stop losses and push prices way down to extreme levels, where as a conspiracy theory, the big commercial traders would already have all their buy orders set up here, where everybody else has their stop loss orders set. And then they do a bunch of selling. It cracks past all of this level of stop losses, and they all sell, and it pushes down into the next level of stop losses, where the big guys are buying, and they've made an enormous 20-30% profit in a day and a half. Could be 1,000 people lost $1,000 there, and one big player has made $1 million out of this short-term move here. Huge, and we're going to be watching for more of these reverse popcorn moves in the uptrending cryptocurrency markets from here forward. That's fact, not conspiracy. First Light, good to have you along here. Actually, you said back in end of October that nobody should be doing anything in Bitcoin until the middle of December. And you were talking about the large institutions and what their agendas were. And you were dead on. You were absolutely perfect on that. So thank you for that and those comments that you left under our videos. I do believe it's a fact. I do believe that this is the way it's working, and I want to be there to anticipate it. And so we do look for this, what I call the reverse popcorn strategy. And so here would be the popcorn strategy on the other side, where you'd be buying, putting your sell orders way above, and as the excitement gets the market, you sell right into it. And here's the opposite, and you're doing it when the panic sets into the market. You're buying against the panic. And we'll do more of those. I love it. This is a great example. And good to have you here, First Light. Appreciate that. So there's no trade signal here anymore. Like the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation was here. It's gone up so high now that there's no buying into it on this level. Crypto chick. There is no. I love total noob trader questions. Why not take an amount and set your buy and sell limit order and then patiently wait for it to hit? Put it into tether and then wait for a re-entry. These are great. That's a great strategy. And one of the things that I'm doing is similar to that. I have one portfolio, one account that is, I bought a whole bunch of, 30 or 40 different coins, and I set my sell orders way up above the market, and then I just leave it. It's sort of like a spider setting up a spider's web, and you wait for things to fall into your trap. And I'm in no hurry with that money. I can just leave it sit. Now. So no signal here in this one for us. It was a buy signal earlier, but we got kicked out of it. So no signal in this coin. There's nothing to do in this. So I wouldn't want to be chasing after this one now that it's already made that much of a move. It's a good chance of it coming back. NXT is the next one in our list. And it's got lower lows, lower highs, and it may blast off and take off from here, but it's not giving me the turnaround feel that I want before I'm going to be putting coin down on the market. OMG. This is better. It's a little bit better. We've got a bottom, a high, a little bit higher bottom, so we've got a failed retest of a recent low, all matching at the same time as Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has taken off, but OMG hasn't in the last few minutes here. So actually, look at that. When we zoom in, OMG has, like some of the other ones, has been pushed down as Bitcoin spiked up there. I'm certain that's going to turn around and go the other way. I really could be a great opposite of a whipsaw. So in our simple trading plan, then this couldn't be a buy signal until it changes direction and it confirms that. And because we've been getting so many fake out breakouts where prices spike above and then they fade way back, I would recommend that wait for this to break out, come back and retest, and then show strength. Add this additional filter into the trade before putting that trade on so that you're not getting caught early and then punished with a fake out breakout. Be patient and wait for it to show it's correct. We'll see how that turns out. But it's not even an alert. Omni, I can't give it an alert. We've got so many big candles to the downside. I just don't know. No, a swing trader, crypto chick, is somebody who is buying in on the fade. So a swing trader, say this market has, let me draw. It's gone up, it came down, it went up, and when it comes down to these levels again, I'm going to take a swing trade entry. I'm doing it on the opposite side of the swing. So if you were swinging back and forth on a swing, you would go this way and you'd come back this way. And this is where the swing trader wants to get in. Knowing that we've already stopped at these levels, I'm risking to get in now, thinking that it's going to be going up. And the swing trader would look for the recent highs and lows as their entry and their exit. And then they're off and they're looking for something else. It's not a trend trading strategy. So you have to find a ranging market to be a good swing trade. And Pascal is making a kind of a bottom formation here for what we're hunting for. I don't hunt often for swing trades because they take a lot of time to be watching for the market all the time. I'm looking for a position trade out of a bottom formation and that I can sit on afterwards. So when this is making this consolidation and breaking higher from that, it may be a buy signal, but right now I can't put it as an alert. Poly has been going down, down, down. I don't know this market enough, and it's too short of time history on Poloniex for me to dig into it. Quantum, on the other hand, made some great surges up, and I couldn't do anything. There was no trade entry signal for me on this as it did these surges up. Then it's come back to pretty much the 50% level, and it's made a consolidation, which gives me a foothold of a place to start to consider getting into the market. So now that it's calmed down and settled like this, that's giving me a place to do an entry on this. But in the long-term view, well, there's not much long-term view. That's it. So this was, as soon as it started taking off, I couldn't do anything. I had to wait. And now that it's come back and consolidated, as I zoom in on this in a smaller time frame, that's too small. Then we're looking at a really nice consolidation building up here. A little bit of a pressure at the end. I think it's going to be a trend continuation pattern and going up from here. We've got some more liquidated shorts coming through on the side. So Quantum I'm going to put into the spreadsheet as an alert. And so far the other ones haven't been alerts yet. And I was expecting more, actually. So we have a few more to do. Let's go look at rep, which I do believe is going to give us some good looking trading pattern. Maybe. In the 3-month view, it's looking better. As soon as we're stepping back to this kind of distance now, it may be that these candles are pre-pump candles and not exhaustion candles, especially with everything else picking up and gaining steam. Then this one would be buy signals above these levels. And who knows how high it'll go, but above these levels it would be buy signals on this time chart. So I guess I have to put that as an alert at least. And we got 16 people watching now, 10 thumbs up. That's pretty good. You got into Quantum yesterday on that consolidation pen. Awesome. Great to hear it. I love to hear that because now I pay much more attention to markets that other people have gotten into. I bought Quantum, but I'm pretty sure I bought it back in October. And so then I was sitting on quite a loss, and it's come back up to pretty much zero now, flat to where I bought on it. Rep. SBD, I go over this one every time and say I don't know what I'm doing in this market. I have no idea. It's supposed to be a stable coin, but I never get that market. Sia coin, however, is making a great bottom formation. It's really fantastic. And if I go back to super long-term views, we can see how this market has performed in the past. I think it's going to do just as well in the future. Although the uptrend is not going to be as steep and as fast as this. We're going to stretch that out over a longer period of time. And there may be more waves up, and some of those, the negative popcorn moves, anti-popcorn moves. As this is going up, this would be something I'd be watching for. As it's making a kind of a top formation and consolidation, then I'd be watching for popcorn moves to the downside. But great buying signal. I've got to put that as an alert in the spreadsheet. I've been watching this one for a while and calling it as an alert for quite a while, for at least the last month now. Oops. SNT. So SNT came down quite a bit. It was really matching STEEM, actually, and it's made a consolidation here that could be a buy signal on this turnaround. It's such a short history coin, though, it's hard for me to judge, is this big? But it's at 540 Satoshi, so it's worth to have a few of them set aside and look at percentage gains over time rather than dollars invested. STEEM is down to real massive historical lows, like lowest in project history, inception prices. Absolutely insane. And I don't know if it'll do this again or if the project has really lost that much value or money drawn out of it from all the bots in there. Who knows? But it doesn't matter. As soon as it makes this bottom formation and it breaks all those three criteria, which would be the break of the downtrend line, not yet, it's coming up, the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout, not yet, and the moving average crossover. All of those things would have to shape up in the 12-hour bar view, and it's not far away, and then I'll take action just because that's what I look for. And often I've been surprised by markets that I poo-hooed. I thought, nah, it's not going to go anywhere. It makes the formation. I ignored it, and then it took way off. So now I'm paying attention to things differently. And here's another one that I've been really bullish on, and I think they've got a great business plan. They've got a great profit model, and it's going to take off. This is a fantastic formation, and I've got to put it as an alert. I'm going to put STEEM as an alert too. And not SNT yet. I'll make that one jump through more hoops and be a little bit more mature. STR. It is right at historical levels, way down. And we can see by these two circles here that when it's come down to lows and it's come up a little bit, then it's had some massive spike down and then the uptrend. Same thing, it's come down here, made a low, it come up a little bit, then it had a massive spike before the bounce to the uptrend. And it may be that we're in the same situation now where it's got this low and it's going to do a massive spike down before trending to the upside. I don't know, but I was watching this pattern. The other thing that I was noticing is that this is a pretty significant multi-times on the bottom. So a swing trader would be looking to enter here. This is where the swing trade comes in, and they've done very well off this last few times. It could be again. The other side of it is that if it does break below there, there's nothing in support and resistance to stop this market from going way down from a half its value from where it is now. There's like just nothing in the charts to support it really until we go back to May of 2017. So, pretty precarious. I have a good bit of it and I'm bullish on it, but nervous at the same time as we're looking at these chart patterns. Maybe now with Bitcoin taking off, this could be the time it's going to be going. And I can't give it a buy signal according to our simple trading plan, not yet. But the downtrend line is there. The 1, 2, 3 bottom formation is shaping up. And when this does come up to these levels here and is ready to break above this number 2 point, that'll be the same time as the moving averages are crossing over, and it would give us our trading signal. So not an alert yet, but certainly on the radar once we have 2 of the 3 things or even 1 of the 3 things shaping up. It's time to be watching. STRAT was a good one. We had the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, gave us a great buy signal. Off it went. We actually sold out and took a 40% profit on that trade, on one of the trades, and the other one we put a stop loss in, and that stop loss was hit here at about a 28% profit or something. Now it's fading back, and there's nothing to do here but watch it until it makes a consolidation from where it is. So I like that it's come back to just below the 50% level, down to these support and resistance levels from the past. That's really great, but it needs to now have this formation mature a bit here. So we have lower highs, we have lower lows. It's got to make a bottom right here and then show some strength out of that. And if it were to do something like this, that would be your add-on position as it was breaking above these kind of levels. Nothing to do yet, just got to watch it for that. Here's one that's probably we're looking at much the same idea, where I'm waiting for this consolidation now to turn into something stronger that's a trend following. But really, over the long term, it's looking pretty good. When we look at the 1 day view, this is looking really good as a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And it would be after it broke out of these levels that we were watching back in October and November before it turns into a signal for us yet. So we've been watching this one for the same signal for months now. Viacoin, this was looking great here, and down it went. So a fake out breakout that certainly was a loss in our trading system, I'm certain. Now we have 3 times off this bottom and a nice consolidated range. It really could take off, but it could do another fake out breakout. So I'd wait for it to be coming back, doing that retest, and then buy on the strength afterwards. A little bit more skeptical about it. VTC, we have lower lows, lower highs, not giving us the turnaround feel yet. It really needs to mature quite a bit and give us the downtrend line break, the 1, 2, 3 bottom. It needs it all. It needs a lot of repair. So this one's giving us a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, but it's taken a larger position now. It's going to take a larger move to trigger this into a buy signal, not even an alert right now. XEM gave us a fantastic signal earlier, really actually chugged up a little bit. Then we had 3 candles to the upside that were looking like pre-pump candles, but they turned into exhaustion candles as prices have faded back and made new lows here, so that we're not even at the 50% level now. Now it's pulled back quite a bit as Bitcoin took off. So it's going to take a while for this to recover, give us the turnaround building formation. How about, all right, here's a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. I was expecting this market to go down sharply from here. And it is a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, but at the same time it's below these historical levels. So it's also a continuation into the downside formation, because it's in between these levels. It's hard to say, is this a bottom formation going to break higher, or is this a top formation in a downtrend, or a formation in a downtrend here that we've been seeing? As prices come back, they consolidate and down they go, consolidate and down they go, consolidate, and what's next? I'm not as bullish on this one as many of the others, and we'll see, because the simple trading plan says, give me a working marker, got to break the downtrend line, 1, 2, 3 bottom, and then the moving averages crossing over. So if it breaks above these levels, that would be a buy signal. We would just have to trade it that way and be watching for it to go the opposite way. Ripple is fading off right from these levels. So it took a big bath here as Bitcoin surged higher. And we had the same thing happen earlier when Bitcoin did a surge. Ripple pulled back and then surged way higher. So I'm not worried about this pullback. However, that is a breach of a pretty significant trend line, and that I'll be watching. Breaks below these levels become much more significant, and this is what we'll be watching here to see if this does fail lower or consolidate here and then continue on its trend. This is the most tricky so far. Zcash. Nothing going on here. It's just fading down to new lows. It's going to take a while for it to recover and turn it around for us. And much the same here in ZRX. It could be making a bottom, and it may in the next while, but it's got like a slowing of momentum here that I think it's got to turn around more before we can call this an alert. And so when I go back to the spreadsheet, there are just not as many alerts as I thought there was going to be. Some of them are still pretty close. They've got a little ways to go. Some of them are fading off. Could be. I didn't look at Primecoin. Ripple is actually fading lower. Zcash is weak. ZRX isn't giving us anything. So we'll tune in a few days and we'll go through this again and see how close these are turning out. Now there's 17 people watching. I appreciate that. 12 thumbs up. That's fantastic. And as we were talking at the beginning of the program, I was talking about the evolution of this trading alert system, where we started off in September. We went through all the way through October. Then we went into November. Then in December, I changed and I upgraded based on people's requests. People were saying, can you just send me this information? So now we have the Poloniex alerts, and actually it'll be interesting to go back and compare the alerts I just did versus these alerts right here. And the trades, the actual markets that we have a trade in, according to our alerts earlier, from December 23rd, January 3rd, December 22nd, all the way along here, we've got these different trades. And each of those things you can pull into, are pulled into the website, and you can see what people are saying about this. Thank you. The insight helps me very much. It's a great tool for keeping my portfolio in profit. If I wasn't part of this group, I'd be biting my nails at the moment. But you know, I started to get a whole bunch of questions from people about all of the stages of the trade, rather than just the entry level of the trade. What do we do for adding on to the trade? When do we start looking to take profits? When do we know when the whole cycle of the trade is finished? And so this is something that I've been teaching for the last number of years. And what I'm doing now is I am reopening the course for registration. And the full course goes through everything. You can see it on the homepage of introdocryptos.ca right now. So registration will open on Tuesday, the 8th of January. Which is 2 days from now. And the reason is the markets are building up. It's time to do this. So starting on Tuesday, registration is open until Saturday. If you sign up on Tuesday, there's going to be some early bird bonuses that you'll see on the page on Tuesday when I open it up. Then after registration is closed, we're going to do a 3-week intensive sequence of learning. We're going to go through the entire training plan from start to finish. And this is the original trading course that I first started offering in 2015, and it always comes with a lifetime connection to our community so that you can really put these habits into use and you can practice them over a long period of time. So when the course starts up, you can go through it in a blazing fast 3 weeks with us as we do the intensive, or you can proceed along at your own pace because you will be a lifetime member of our course and community. You can retake the course as often as you wish. So this is a simple trading plan. For many of you who may not know me, I started learning about this plan in March of 1995. Yes, more than 20 years ago. And then in 2015, I started making videos about cryptocurrency trading on YouTube. And I started out with $15 worth of Bitcoin tips. And I started teaching this very same strategy that I learned in 1995. And I've really traded my way to some amazing profits. From January of 2015 till May of 2015, I went from $15 to $500 in cryptos. 1 year later, in May of 2016, I was up to over $5,000 in cryptos and Bitcoin. And you can see in this first screenshot below here, in January of 2017, my balance was at $9,700. By July, it was over $100,000, and it hit its peak of over $530,000 worth of Bitcoin and cryptos by January of 2018. Now, I'm really lucky because I took out a huge amount of profit in January and a huge amount of profit again in May, which turns out to be fantastic timing to have sold out of things. Luck is where preparedness meets opportunity. And I would like to have more people be prepared for the opportunities that are coming up right now in January of 2019. You know that in trading, past success is no future indicator of potential for profits in the future. But at the same time, there are some technical analysis patterns shaping up right now that are being observed in the markets that are just as great as they were in March till July of 2017, and I think even bigger bull waves are on the way. So it is time to have a plan and how to deal with all stages of the trade, especially when we consider the magnitude of the opportunity that's ahead of us, rather than it's much bigger than it was back in March of 2017. So this 3-week intensive course, it's something I've done before. This is the 7th or 8th time that I'll be running the course over the last 3 years. And recently, it's been a natural progression for me to have done the Bull Market Watch live stream series, the one you're watching now. And then I evolved into the alert plan. and got that up and going and working in the website and got some great happy comments from those things. But I started getting many questions from these new subscribers because they were talking about different areas of the trading plan. Areas of the trading plan that we are just not up to yet. And so these questions told me that there is an unmet need in the training here, and it was time to get the course going again. In addition, the current market conditions are just lining up to the ideal setup of all of the trading patterns that I've been watching for, that I learned to watch for in 1995, and I've been learning more about them ever since. So I knew that there's no more important time to get this information out to people who might be interested in this. It's time to run the course again. And so here's what's involved in the 3-week intensive. In week number 1, we're going to start off with a live video, and then you get some training to go through on your own. There's a few things to read, there's some audios to listen to, and then there's some recommendations of resources that I think are profound and will make an enormous difference in how well you do in your trading in the future. So week 1 is all preparation, all getting ready for the dangers that are involved in trading, getting ready for the mistakes that are going to be made, and finding ways to overcome them so that you are as prepared as possible. Week number 2 is when we get into the tools. So now I'm introducing each of the different technical analysis tools that we'll use. We'll have live stream videos. We'll go over exactly what's happening in the markets right now for each of these different trading patterns. This includes screenshots and examples and some great information here. Then we go on to another live stream video where we're talking about more of the specifics of putting these tools into action, talking about every one of these tools so that you can have an overview of how they fit together into the whole plan. We've got a couple different trading strategies here: the range breakout, the swing trading, the popcorn trading strategy, variations in the popcorn strategy. It's not just the simple trading plan with the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. There's a lot of different options for us here in the course. Then in week 3, we really start putting this all together. So now we're going to go through the historical bull market case study and put these tools into use and start to get some pattern recognition into your brain so that you recognize the opportunity that's in front of us right now and you really know what those patterns mean. Then we're going to go over the 5 stages of a trade, from planning it to implementing it to adding on to the trade to closing the trade off and reviewing the whole cycle. We're going to talk about how to build crypto market positions, including how much of a size of position you should be putting on according to the size of your equity overall. And this is going to help really with the risk control and understanding how all of that works. So lesson 10 is getting into more details about when to take profits. So we're at the final stages of a trade. And this is where many people report the most difficulty, is to let go of those things that they have. They still believe higher and higher. And sometimes I do too, but there are specific patterns that you have to follow and watch, and you just have to act on them when those patterns turn up. And it's amazing when we go through the historical bull market study to find out which of the patterns actually are the right times to have been taking profits. It's easy to see in hindsight which are the right times. So knowing those patterns from the past is going to help us in the future. We talk about leverage trading, how to avoid forced liquidation, and we also have a section in here on hedging. And if you have ability to do leverage trading and you're not from the United States, this is helpful stuff. Then we get into my conspiracy section, and sometimes this is not conspiracy, but you will see as we go through and we talk about how price manipulation works in crypto, how to prepare yourself for it and how to protect yourself, how pump and dump groups actually work, and this is where a lot of the popcorn trading strategy gets its roots. Then we also have the dangers of the artificial intelligence trading bots and where they have their traps set. And it helps shape how we do our trading overall, is to stay far enough away where those traps can't get us. Finally, we get into a couple more of the key things in trading, is the psychology, knowing about the anatomy of a losing trade so that you recognize those things yourself. 2 sure signs that you're addicted to cryptos, and gambling is an addiction that we always have to be aware of as traders. Then we start getting into some of the great detail of how to keep a trading journal and create your own educational resource. Finally, this is a lifetime membership, so we invite you to stay current with our community over the years as you are implementing these trading plans as they play themselves out. I'll have details on this trading option, and you will be able to sign up for this at great to see you here, Pen Noob, and I appreciate your comments there. That you love the alerts package, that is great, but don't stop doing these videos. I love them. I appreciate doing them too, and I'm working at different variations of it so that the alerts subscribers get some really in-depth details only about the alerts, rather than us going through this generic schedule of every single thing on Poloniex. And First Light, yes, you will be able to sign up for the course in 2 days on intro-to-cryptos.ca. Then I'm going to have the opening day bonuses listed on the page that are going to make it a great benefit for you to sign up on Tuesday. Not only will you save $200 on Tuesday off the price of the course, there will be additional bonuses there, and I'll talk more about them over the next day and a half. I'll do another live stream and with a different subject, and I'll talk more about this cryptocurrency trading course, the 3-week intensive that'll be starting up right away. Yes, you can certainly give your link to others, and if you send me a note in Discord, I can give you a coupon code, your own personalized coupon code. You'll be able to give this coupon code out to people, and they will save an additional 20% off the price of the course, and you will earn a 20% commission on the course. So if you don't have a bonus coupon, if you don't have a coupon, be sure to go to our Discord group and ask one of our lifetime members for their discount coupon code, and you'll save an additional 20% off the price of the course. And that's it for this live stream. I think we've gone past the hour, but some really great stuff going on here. I appreciate having you guys along, and look forward to seeing what goes on with these markets over the next few days. This is getting interesting. Cheers, and thanks again for tuning in. I will see you in our Discord group or on the next live stream. Cheers.